because of the 14th, where we look at the 14th Amendment. There's currently a bill in the House, 1868. It's a birthright bill. And basically what it is in the 14th Amendment, they looked at attachés and foreign dignitaries. If they have a child in this country, they're not citizens. Okay? And we've allowed the judiciary system to interpret the next part, okay, from the post-slave days, to allow that anybody born here, okay, is a citizen. 1868, sponsored by Nathan Deal out of Georgia, who's now running for governor there. It's got 90 co-sponsors. And basically what it says is that you must be a citizen, both husband and wife, both parents must be citizens in order to be a birthright citizen of this country. Why is that important? Because this problem is immense. Give you another example, give you two more things what's happening. There are actually tourists who are planning their travels to the United States to have their baby during that time. It gets worse. There's a lady from Lebanon who has 20-some husbands that she has allowed to become citizens. You're teaching terrorists right here. So not only do you this, but you are afforded in the Constitution. You gave that right as a state to the federal government unless you're invaded. Tell me what part of this I don't get. If the federal government had grounds to sue, you don't think Eric Holder and this administration would have already done it? They don't. The thing that I'm telling you is, here's a book, and I gave it to Rusty. Because I want you to read it, okay? It's Alinsky's Rules for Radicals. This is how radicals get their business done. I'm a capitalist, so I need you to read this. Your money's going to burn when you hand it over. But education will set you free, okay? Because who in the heck is Congressman Grijalva in his true representation of Arizona to be calling for a boycott of this state? You know what? We ought to be calling all his constituents and out you go.
Well, and the biggest thing that bothers me is who is it hurting? Who's
they think they're helping.
Exactly.
And the second part to this, the other part to this that everybody's not bringing up is, it's a Mexican government we also got to bring to the table.
Right.
Shame on you. You know what? Ante up or pony up. And that's what's sad about this. I'm a proud immigrant. I understand where that came from. We walked in the right way. You know what? We've rewarded bad behavior with the bailouts all the way around. Why are we going to reward our bad behavior in this one? I'm tired of it. And you know what? By the way, I'm getting my triennial dental license. I have to prove I'm a citizen. I'm lost of words. I don't know what part I'm missing here. But I have to prove it, and every physician does, and everybody else does. What the heck is wrong with this bill? It's not. There's nothing wrong.
Yes, my name's AZ01. My family in southern Arizona goes back to the 1850s and 1860s, and I'm 7/8 Mexican American. I've heard it stated again, secure the borders. What do you mean by secure the borders? Specific
First thing, the absolute physical security in between fences and sensors, but mostly manned presence with forward operating bases along the border. And I would absolutely have military trainees happening on the border to make sure that that free come and go cannot happen anymore. So that the rule of sovereign law affects people who come and go. That I think absolutely we need Mexicans to be here. And absolutely they need to be here on certain stipulated reasons. Visa, visit, education, work. They come, they have a stipulated mentor or responsible party. When they're done, they can go back. They may have a maximum time of 6 months to be here, go back home to their families and their loved ones, and come back. We need them, we want them, that's good. Visit, buy, purchase, tourists, great. But by our rules. But unless we have a secure border system, air, water, fence, people, then those rules won't ever work. Because people could easily come, and as we all know, they come and go right now. So that's what I mean. Both secure system, but by the laws of our country, just as I do when I go to Mexico and I fill out my visa, and it's good for 6 months, and then if they find me there in their 6 months, they have ways of making me feel bad about that. So, and I've lived there, and I speak Spanish fluently, and I have immense experience in Mexico. So I know the drivers, I know of the corruption, but they have their laws, we have to have our laws. That's how I see it.
Could you add to those questions, California border and New Mexico?
Oh, what's that?
Yeah.
Add the same question, we don't just have a southern border, we have California and New Mexico.
We've been saying the same thing. What you do on the southern border, you do on your ports and northern border. I mean, you don't even control your own ports, folks. And you got another port going on down in Limas, deep sea port coming in Limas, they're calling it the Port of Arizona, and you don't have a grip on this? Honestly, I'm going to ask you a question, and remember, I'm the product of immigrants. How many people cross the DMZ between North Korea and South Korea?
Not many.
0. 0. Okay? So if there's a certain distance, it's a DMZ, no one crosses. Okay? Why do people want to come here? I'm a family man too. And that is if you're raising a family and the mayor or the police officer in your town speaks up against the cartels and the next week they're hanged and eviscerated in front of everybody to show, wrong answer. I'm a parent, I want to flee too. So by damn, that's why I say the Mexican government better come to the table. Otherwise, I think there's a land purchase coming. Then we'll decide what the rest happens. But you got to start with securing it with military people. And you don't tie them like this. No bullets, I can't do anything, I can see them look, I can't do anything. If they cross over, that's unwarranted. We've got over 50 instances where they've crossed over with military into our sovereign soil. How dare you do that? But we have got to take this back. And it's going to take vigilance from all of us. I mean, we had another drop box. I mean, I watch the news very rarely. Okay, this Flagstaff doesn't have the news, so we get it from Phoenix. I mean, I get down and depressed, and I think you all do too. People have been told about a drop house that something was going on. People going back and forth, and the police officers, no one even investigated. Little lady started looking around and found out they had tons of people from Brazil, from all over the place. But make sure they're coming, like Rusty said, on our terms. That's where it's got to stop, and it's got to have the Mexican government there, or else. Or else.
There's another thing that Paul, I know, has opinions on, and that is the drug people. And why do they come here? Because this is the market. And your town, and many other small towns across Arizona, are afflicted by the scourge of drugs. And for whatever reasons, and for whatever failures, or for whatever successes, it is true, and that has to be fought too. Because when those groups come across, I mean, they're very, very well planned. They've got spotters on the mountains, they've got the most up-to-date equipment, the best optics, the best radio. My brother, drug interdiction officer, 14 years on board, one time on a secure frequency, because his job was to, they did camouflage, and they would just get into where they could see who had the drugs and call those people in. Heard his radio, his voice, secure frequency, going into his radio, coming out of that guy's radio. So he knew that there'd been people bought off. That lure of easy money has a very strong appeal. Well, they're very, very organized. They've got front scouts. They've got 4 guys with machine guns, the mules in the middle. They go up to I-10. Our Border Patrol has retreated back to the 60. Isn't it wonderful that now Ann has said, hey, see, I think we need more Border Patrol agents. While they're still laying them off. They're hiring 16,000 IRS agents, then laying off Border Patrol agents, and it makes me wonder who they're really trying to catch. It's not them, it's us. But, when they get through dumping off their drugs, now you've got at least 8 men with machine guns coming back home. And exactly whose rules are they going to obey? And that's where we've had that same family. Home invasions, threats, murder, all types of stuff on their way back to Mexico.
Just to make a brief statement on drug interdiction, I worked with U.S. Customs on Black Hawk helicopter program on the border from 1987 through 2001. Wow. Off and on.